Today's lesson is the topic for review. Describe the relationship between the two sets of data. Take a second to copy down the question and draw a quick sketch of the graph as well. When we ask for the relationship, we are asking whether it's going to be positive, negative, or no correlation. When I look at these points going from left to right, even though they are scattered, there is a pattern of them going down. So we know that there is a negative relationship. And since the points are scattered apart, far away from each other, we can say that it is a weak negative relationship. So that's all we have to do when they ask for the relationship. Say whether it's strong or weak, and whether it's positive or negative, or no correlation, or no relationship. Write the equation of the line of best fit of the scatter plot below. Take a second to copy down the problem and a quick sketch of the graph as well. So I need to first determine 2 points that I can use to write my equation or my line of best fit. I want to find points on my line that are close to actual data points. So this first data point, that's actually on my line, so that's a good point. A second good point that I see is up here because that data point falls right on my line. Remember, when you're writing the equation of the line of best fit, we are writing the equation of this line. So we need to pick points that are on this line, not the data points. So I picked these 2 data points because they also fall right on my line. And again, when we're doing this, now we're going to determine what the values are of that point. Some answers may be a little different from other people because it's based off of how you read the table, but your answers will be close to each other. I'm going to write out my points for this first one. This first one, my x value is 3, and my y value, I'll say it is about 64. It doesn't quite make it up to 65, but it's very, very close, so I'll say it's 64. My other data point is at 11 for my x value, and my y value is just above 95, so I will say it's at 96. Again, if your points, if you read it as 96 or 97, that's okay. Your answer will just be slightly different, but it will be okay because our answers will be close. Now I'm going to write my equation in the form y equals mx plus b. I'm going to label this as x1, y1, x2, y2. And since our points don't fall exactly on the grid, it's going to be difficult to use our graph, so we're going to do it by using these 2 points. I'm going to first find my slope using my formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. My y2 value is 96 minus my y1 value, which is 64, over my x2 value, which is 11, minus my x1 value, which is 3. 96 minus 64 is equal to 32. 11 minus 3 is equal to 8. Now, since I'm doing a line of best fit, I can turn this number into a decimal. Normally I wouldn't, but this time I can. 32 divided by 8 is 4. So that works out well. So my equation is y equals 4x plus b. Now I have to determine what my y-intercept is, or my b value. To do that, I could pick either point and substitute into my equation. I'm going to pick my first point because it's smaller. In my first point, my x value is 3 and my y value is 64. So I have 64 equals 4 times 3 plus b. 64 equals 4 times 3 is 12 plus b. To solve for b, I subtract 12 from both sides. 64 minus 12 is 52 equals b. And then if I look at my graph, again, since my points aren't exact, it should be close. And I see here that my y-intercept is very close to 50. So 52 would make sense for my y-intercept. So my equation of my line of best fit is y equals 4x plus 52. Corey asked 82 people at his school what type of fruit they prefer. Use the information in the table to complete the two-way frequency table. Take a second to copy down the question and the table. So now, I need to fill in my missing information from my table. The key number, this number in the bottom left, that's always bottom right, is always going to be your overall total. Since he asked 82 people, that number I know is going to be 82. So now I'm going to fill in all the missing information from my table. I need to see where there's one number missing in either a row or a column. I see there's one number missing here. I know that 24 plus whatever this number is plus 25 has to equal to 82. So I could do 82 minus 24 and minus 25 to get 33. So this number would be 33. So I could double check that. 24 plus 33 plus 25 is equal to 82. Now I just continue to look to see where I can fill in my missing information. If I look in my oranges table, I have 24 students said oranges, and there are a total of 25 people. So the teachers, it must be one teacher that said it, because 24 plus 1 is 25. Also, 22 students said apples for a total of 24. So there must have been 2 teachers that said apples to give me my total of 24. And for my grapes, if 33 total said it and 4 teachers said it, 33 minus 4 is equal to 29. So 29 students said they prefer grapes. Now I just need to find my totals on the right. To do that, I can just add up all my numbers for students. 22 plus 29 plus 24 is equal to 75. And when I add up for my teachers, 2 plus 4 plus 1 is equal to 7. And if I double check that, 75 plus 7 is equal to 82. So my numbers are correct. Use the two-way relative frequency table below to create a row relative frequency table. Take a second to copy down both tables as they are. Now, when I'm creating a row relative frequency table, row means it is going across this way. So I'm going to use the total at the end of each row as my denominator for each row. For volleyball and sandwich, I'm going to do the 19 divided by the 34. And I'm going to turn that number into a percent, rounded to the nearest tenth. 19 divided by 4, and then multiply by 100 is equal to 55.9%. For pasta and volleyball, it is 15 divided by 34, and 15 divided by 34 multiplied by 100 gives me 44.1%. And then for the total, it is 34 divided by 34, which is equal to 100%. Now for swimming, I'm not going to use 34 as my denominator, I have to use my 36. So 26 divided by 36, 26 divided by 36 is equal to 72.2%. For pasta and swimming, it is 10 divided by 36, and 10 divided by 36 is equal to 27.8%. And then for the total swimming, is equal to 36 divided by 36, which is 100%. And now for total sandwich, again, since I'm on a new row, I'm going to use my new denominator of 70. 45 divided by 70 is equal to 64.3%. 25 divided by 70 for my pasta total, 25 divided by 70 is equal to 35.7%. And 70 divided by 70 is equal to 100%. So for a row, I use my rows going across. If I was using a column, my column would go up and down. So I would use my sandwich, pasta, and the total. If it was just a total relative frequency table, then you would use the 70 for every single denominator.